She wore beautiful makeup, yet shot herself in front of everyone. At first, everyone assumed it was just another ordinary suicide case, but not long after, the deceased bride reappeared in the mist. Without hesitation, she gunned down her husband, who had just left a brothel. The Ghost Bride murder case instantly dominated every newspaper headline. Panic swept through the public, and as the uproar spiraled out of control, the inspector had no choice but to turn to the legendary detective who could supposedly solve anything, Sherlock Holmes.
Who's on mortuary duty?
You know who?
Always him.
When Holmes arrived at the morgue with his student, they discovered the so-called ghost bride bound tightly to the mortuary table with iron chains. The staff claimed this was the only way to prevent her from coming back to life and killing again. But as a materialist, Holmes found such behavior utterly absurd. He refused to believe the ridiculous story of a vengeful ghost rising from the dead to commit murder. Yet the coroner insisted with absolute certainty that the body before them was not only Amy, the bride who had died just yesterday, but also the killer from last night's shooting. Multiple witnesses had seen the entire attack with their own eyes. Faced with these seemingly impossible facts, the student declared there could be only one explanation. Amy must have had a secret twin sister no one knew about. But the inspector immediately shot down this theory, explaining he'd already investigated and found that Amy only had one brother, who had died 4 years ago. Just as they hit a dead end, the coroner suddenly noticed fresh blood on the bride's body, something that hadn't been there when she was brought in. While they were talking, they discovered a new line of bloody writing on the wall. It was in the bride's handwriting, but the bullet had clearly gone straight through her brain. How could she possibly still be alive? Holmes suddenly thought of someone else. He turned and left immediately, with his student following close behind. Before leaving, the student kindly reminded the coroner that while the victim had died from a gunshot wound, she'd been suffering from severe tuberculosis and didn't have long to live anyway. Things might not be as simple as they seemed. A month passed quickly. During that time, 5 more men were killed. The inspector told Holmes that without exception, all of them had been shot by the ghost bride in their own homes. Every scene had bloody marks on the walls, and blood splattered across the floors, like some unspeakable mystical ritual. With the case at a complete standstill, 221B Baker Street received a visitor, a Mrs. Carmichael. She explained that her husband had recently received a strange letter containing no text whatsoever, just 5 cryptic symbols. That very night, her husband frantically claimed he'd seen the ghost bride. She didn't take it seriously at first, but the next morning, when she followed her husband's trail to the back garden, she too saw the ghost bride's figure deep within the morning mist.
Who are you?